Hello and welcome to this season's first episode of the Snakebite. I am James Simpson. This is my new guest host, Carl Van Gelder. It has been an exciting couple of weeks for Mocs Athletics. Let's get right into it. Our fall sports teams have been very busy to kick off the school year. Let's start with volleyball as the Ashley Crowder era has started. She is 5-1 in her first 6 as head coach here at Florida Southern College, including a win in 3 sets against the number 17 ranked Washburn University during the FSC Volleyball Classic. The Mocs returned from a 3-1 road trip for the U-Indy Invitational, where Mackenzie Peterman continues to be a dominant offensive force for the Mocs. The volleyball team will open conference play this weekend at home in the Jenkins Fieldhouse against St. Leo on Friday and a historically great University of Tampa team on Saturday.
And the men's soccer team kicked off their season away from home, playing 2 out of their 4 first games away. They now sit 2-2 on the year, with both wins coming against regional opponents Alabama Huntsville and Delta State. The Mocs returned from a trip to Huntsville this past weekend, splitting their 2 matchups. First, beating Huntsville 3-0 and later falling to West Alabama 2-1. In all the games this year, the Mocs have spread the load around offensively with no outright leader in goals or assists. The Florida Southern is still trying to figure out their defense, with star keeper A.J. Pierce still yet to play this season. Florida Southern, the projected 8th place finisher in the Sunshine State Conference, will begin in-conference competition on September 16th versus St. Leo at home.
The number 22 ranked nationally women's golf team started the fall season off strong this past weekend at the Seminole State warm-up in Sanford, Florida. Out of 6 teams, the Lady Mocs fielded an A and B team with a 3rd and 4th place finish respectively, with top-scoring Moccasins Ava LaBelle and Margot Bonifay tying for 6th place. Also finishing in the top 10 was Ashley Angelo, who finished in an 8th place tie. LaBelle was named SSC Golfer of the Week for her performance this past weekend, in which the freshman racked up 3 birdies and 23 pars in her collegiate debut. The team's next showing will be on September 24th at the Savannah Lakes Invitational, hosted by Lander University.
The men's golf team is currently competing in the NCAA National Championship Preview in Winter Garden, Florida. As of our production time, redshirt senior Adam Alvarez leads the tournament as 2 under par, and the Mocs are tied for 2nd. There's a long way to go until the Division II National Tournament in May of 2024, but this is a great opportunity for the Mocs to get a look at the historically great Sunshine State Conference golf teams.
The men and women's cross-country teams opened their seasons here in Lakeland at the FSC Mocs cross-country kickoff 2 weeks ago. The men saw graduate student Alex Guy lead the charge with a 3rd place finish overall, followed closely behind, very closely, by sophomores Christian Giller and Chris Colavita in 4th and 5th place. The men's team placed 1st overall, beating conference rivals Tampa and Emory-Riddle in the process. The women were led by junior Emma Musante in 9th place, followed closely behind by redshirt junior Ellie Fluman. Both teams boast a seasoned group of returners and have been injected with fresh blood by these incoming freshman classes. They'll test themselves against D1 competition as well as conference and regional rivals at the Mountain Dew Invitational this Friday, the 15th, in Gainesville, Florida.
The women's soccer team started their season off strong with a 2-0 win over Spring Hill College, but stumbled when faced with tougher opponents like number 5 West Florida. The Mocs have continued to see major contributions by freshmen like Riley Hausagawa, who has played a pivotal role in facilitating the offense. Jasmine Adamas, a sophomore, has taken the brunt of the goal-scoring load, scoring 2 of the team's 4 goals on the season. The Mocs recently fell to 3-0 to Lander at home and will look to bounce back against more tough opponents in their road trip to Texas. They will follow their 2 games in Texas with their first Sunshine State Conference matchup of the year away at Eckerd on September 20th. This will begin their campaign to return to the top of the conference.
And that will bring us to our This Week in Mocs History segment. September 17th, 1991, the Mocs opened their season with a dominant 3-set win over Sunshine State Conference rival Eckerd College. What started all the way in September ended with an NCAA D2 semifinal appearance. But there is a long way to go until the NCAA tournament, but it all starts here this weekend in the George Jenkins Fieldhouse against St. Leo and Tampa, along with women's soccer and men's soccer getting their conference ball rolling. Should be a fun weekend in Moccasin Athletics, and this has been the Snakebite with James Simpson and Carl Van Gelder. We will see you next Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in.